Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is E-Star Tarot, and today we're going to be doing another collective and timeless reading to see what our ancestors, spirit guides, and guardian angels would like to deliver to us as a message today. And with us we have our dolphin totem to be with us for this reading. And we have pink adventurine as well. It's the color of the higher heart chakra actually, so there might be something to do with heart healing in this reading, but we'll see as we progress through it. We're just going to see what messages we need to receive at this time with this reading. Oh, that's too many cards, but I kind of want to see. No, okay. We'll oh, that was really quick. Strength. Yeah. Such a funny one with the lion being so angry at the bunny and the bunny's unbothered. Get some more cards here. Eight of Cups, yeah. Lots of change coming in. Might be leaving something behind. Calling upon your strength to leave something. Oh, wow. But look what you're heading towards. 10 of Cups. Beautiful. Yeah, this is a necessary change. You're making a decision to go towards your happiness. But maybe you're leaving something behind that's difficult. Yeah, but you're letting your intuition lead you with the High Priestess here. So something, has been calling you towards a path that before you didn't recognize that you needed to go on this path, that this was something important to you, but now it's becoming so loud that you can't ignore it anymore. You're going towards something new emotional life. Yeah. It's like before you were not living your truth, not living in your abundance. But it took you a lot of strength to get there. You had to come into this Ace of Cups energy. You had to find yourself really going inward and really asking yourself what it is you desired, what it is you wanted. And seeing that you weren't happy where you were. Seeing that you weren't in that 10 of Cups energy. And now you're heading towards that. So if you're feeling like you're starting from scratch or you're starting from the beginning and it's like daunting, maybe that's where the strength energy comes in. You're feeling a little bit like it's going to take a lot of my energy to move towards this. It's worth it because, and also, don't discount your efforts. Like don't think that, because I'm getting this energy of like, oh, why didn't I do this sooner? Or why did I waste so much time in that other energy? But it's like, this took a lot of effort to reflect on what was bothering you, what was making you unhappy, and deciding, I'm going to choose a different path and move towards something better. That takes a lot. It takes a lot of energy and reflection and trust to move towards something like that. I'm going to get one more card here. Oh, I came quickly. King of Pentacles, yeah. So there's nothing to worry about here because you're heading towards something that's really stable and abundant. Maybe even like a King of Pentacles, like someone who's going to be very, stable and financially secure. But this could also be you. This could also be you heading into that energy of financial independence, of being someone who's really in charge of their life, really able to control their destiny. Maybe you're someone who's been really afraid of finances. I know that sounds kind of silly, but sometimes it's, finances are daunting, or they're like something that a lot of people struggle with, right? And sometimes it feels like, it's out of our control. But this is for someone who's been maybe even born into a family that was always like in that lack energy. But you're heading towards something that's better for you. You're like deciding, I'm going to control my destiny and get myself out of that, stress. Like it's like you're moving away from being scared of, anything that can happen with money and scarcity, and just going for what you want. And it's this new, that's where this new emotional life is coming in, this new emotional awareness. It's that money isn't the thing I'm going to let control me. Money isn't the thing that is going to lead me. It's not the thing that's going to control my decisions. I'm moving towards something that is about my happiness instead, and let my intuition guide me. And ironically, that's going to lead you to more money because that's actually what you should have done all along. It's the thing that should have, it's frustrating because a lot of times what brings us financial abundance is just being in the right energy, being in alignment with our desires and, our destiny, which is often where we feel that pull towards, that intuitive pull towards. But other people and ideas and programs get in the way and tell us, no, you need to do this to be stable, or you need to follow this certain path. Or if you make that decision, it won't go right for you. And then we get all these ideas about what can and cannot be. But it's actually for you, following your path was always the right path. Even though others told you not to do that, which is frustrating. But, sometimes we have to go on that journey to learn that, right? And that's an invaluable journey. That's a really important lesson to learn. Like, don't ever think that your time is wasted or that you took a wrong turn and you could have gone a better path. The path you took was the path you took for a reason. If it seems like we had to, do a circle to get back around to something, it was probably necessary. It's probably important to teach you something, and maybe even it'll be part of your destiny, like something you teach others or something that you help people with, or part of the lessons that you're here to teach other people, or it could even just be, what your soul came here to learn, right? Let's get some more cards here. Either way, I see you, you're on the right path now. You got there. You got on the right path. And that's in itself is going to feel like such a relief to know you're heading towards something good. And it's not even like objectively good. It's just what you desire. It's what you feel called to. And that in itself is such a relief. Because when we're out of alignment, when we're doing something we don't really desire, that our soul doesn't call to, that like our body says no to, it feels so wrong. Yeah, you're very close to achieving your goals. Things are going to make sense soon. Things are going to be, making a lot, because maybe you're in a place where you don't feel like it's making sense yet. You're still on that path going away from the thing that you don't want, but you don't know what you're heading towards. It's going to make sense very soon for you. Things are going to start shifting in a way that makes you suddenly be like, oh, that's why. That's why I was here at this time, or that's why I went on this path, or that's why I spent so much time at this one place. It was to lead me to this place now. Your commitment is being tested. Yes, that's why. That's why you had to be so patient for so long. It was to show you, or to see. Oh my gosh, I'm getting ahead of myself. It was to show you, that you are meant for something greater by kind of showing you what you didn't want. And this time that you're in, where it feels like, like your commitment is being tested. Like there's this that motorbike going off just makes me feel like that's going to be your energy soon, is you're going to be taking off so fast. And maybe it was like this time of a pause and like stagnation was necessary for you to, figure out what you wanted by showing you the path that wasn't for you, so that you really understood. This is what I desire, and this is where I'm meant to be. This is not where I'm meant to be. And it was to show you, that the thing you want Sorry, I just had to pause the video because there was some music playing outside and it was really throwing me off. But, whenever that happens, I just ask for my ancestors and spirit guides and guardian angels to help to quiet things down. And usually, if I'm a little bit patient, they help me out. And, sometimes it's also just about having faith that things will work out in your favor. And, to show you that sometimes your patience has to be a little bit tested. And I feel like that's what's being called to with this Your Commitment is Being Tested card with the first quarter moon. Sometimes things don't work out right away, and that's to test you to see, are you really committed to this thing? Or are you going to be thrown off as soon as things, don't work out? Or are you going to keep the faith that things can turn out for you? And often if we keep ourselves steady and grounded and we wait, things work out. And it was just a guy in his car playing his music really loud, but then he drove off, and I just had to wait a little bit. So sometimes, we have to go through these periods of waiting to show us that, even if things seem like they're not going to work out, often they do work in our favor if we just give it a little bit of time, a little bit of our patience. And sometimes the waiting is necessary. Sometimes it has a purpose. Sometimes things have to be in alignment for a certain reason to work out at a certain time. And we can't always see that. So, sometimes we just have to have that faith and that trust for things are happening in a certain way for a certain reason. Take an inner child card here. That's pretty loud. Sometimes they really make a noise when they fall down there. You do not have to go it alone. Aw, reach out for support at this time. Yeah, like you see this guy, he's so lonely in his boat and he's heading towards this castle and it's like this big journey. But you don't have to make that journey alone. There might be someone coming in for you even. Maybe it is that King of Pentacles. Maybe someone who's really good with finances is going to come in and help you. Or maybe just someone who's good at business. Doesn't have to be finances. But, or just has that grounded energy that you need in your life. But this could also be you. Like this could also be you just reaching out to the right support networks to help you. There's always resources out there. There's friends, there's family. But even aside from that, there's like, government programs or, support and people that make it their career to support people going through, difficult times or that need advice for certain things. There's counselors, there's financial advisors, there's, career counselors, there's so many things. There's intuitive people that can give you guidance. There's so much out there that, you just have to ask. Sometimes you just have to ask your angels and ancestors to put the right things in your path to help you along. Set boundaries, claim your power, know your value today. Knowing your value. The King of Pentacles knows his value. That's a big part of it. That's a big part of retaining wealth and financial abundance. Abundance. Something about bees, maybe. But are you a beekeeper? Just had that buzz energy for some reason. Maybe someone's bugging you like a bug, like buzzing around your head. But yeah, something like that. Yeah, don't let other people, bug you. Don't let them, drain your energy or hang around you when they're not helping you out or they're taking something away from you. Becoming very aware of how people affect you is so important right now. Because you want to have the right energies in it. It's so funny because this one's about having support, but this one's also about, having boundaries with those who don't support you. So there's two very different energies here. One, you've got to really set boundaries with other people, but also with yourself, because this is about your time, I think, as well. Yeah. Because sometimes we can let other things take our energy that aren't even people. It's like, the media, or, things we're addicted to, like, I don't know, like video games, or like, scrolling TikTok, or even like being addicted to chaotic energy, like drama, or, scary news, stressful news, or even tarot readings. You could be addicted to tarot readings because you want to hear like affirming advice all the time, right? There's just, it's important to set boundaries around your time and your health. You have to have boundaries with yourself as well. And maybe that's what this King of Pentacle energy is all about as well. You're understanding what's good for your health, what's good for your well-being. That isn't what is and isn't in alignment for you. And you're learning to set those boundaries with yourself. If you spend a couple hours on TikTok every day, but it's draining you, and you notice that that's happening, setting boundaries with yourself. I'm only going to have this much technology time a day, or I'm only going to do so much of that, and but also I'm going to do so much of this. This thing that I want to do, I'm going to do an hour of that every day to make sure that I'm like putting myself in that energy every day, or I'm going to meditate every day because I know that's important for me to feel stable throughout my day. What is it they say, like, how you start your day will like determine the whole rest of your day? There's something like that. So if you like begin your day with meditation, you're going to be like way more productive through the whole day because you started it off right. Or it can be simple, like making your bed. I think something about like people who make their bed, being way more productive because they just start off their day with doing something that's like in the right mode of, I'm going to get going with my day kind of energy. I'm not saying you have to make your bed every day. I'm just saying, like, be aware of how different activities affect you and how the rest of your day goes. And decide for yourself, this is really good for me. When I do these things, I'm having a great day and I feel so much better. When I do these things, my day goes south and I don't feel great and I have a waste of a day. Sometimes we got to have rules and structures to our day to help us to make sure that we enjoy our day and we get the most out of our day. I'm not saying you have to have like perfectly structured every day. That can be a little bit, restrictive, but allow yourself to be flexible and free as well. But having boundaries is important towards keeping yourself healthy. It's like brushing your teeth every day, I think of that song. There's this weird show. I don't know if anybody's ever watched it, called Tuca and Birdie. It's by Lisa Hannawell, the woman who did she did BoJack Horseman, like all the animal people designs, and she worked on that show, and she did this other show called Tuca and Birdie. I'm going on a real tangent here, but the song's been stuck in my head all week. I think it's in the second episode where Birdie, she has anxiety and she's in this grocery store and she starts having a panic attack. She sings a song about losing her mind. But there's a line in it where like all the grocery store occupants are like singing along with her in this musical. It's in her head, but like one of them goes, "Mental health is as important as brushing your teeth." And it's true. Your mental health is as important as brushing your teeth. It's maybe that's a message for you there, is that, you have to put a structure in for your mental health as well as your physical health. Like if you walk every day, but you have terrible mental health, maybe you need to structure in meditation or something that helps your mental health every day as much as you structure that walk, or you do that brushing your teeth, or like whatever activity you already do every day, do something else that's try to do something else every day that moves you towards healing and alignment in that way for you. So I guess with that example, like, you could go for a walk every day if that's something that, so when I have a walk every day, I feel a lot better. When I get some sunlight on my face, I do have better, mental health outcomes for that day. Or when I meditate, I have less anxiety attacks, or, just like, and you don't even have to start it right now. Just notice it. Just the act of noticing that. Ooh, the car revved by the window, and I just think, that was like a confirmation, like noticing. That's the first step, because it's so hard to start a new habit. But, there's a lot of micro steps before that, like where you just start noticing, hey, I feel better when I do this. Even that is like the first act towards beginning a new habit, a healthier habit. All right, I think I've spoken enough about that. Get to our next cards here. Aw, orange calcite. Beautiful. And it's a heart. So I get that someone's really healing their sacral. But maybe it's also they're healing their sacral right now, because that's something that's been out of alignment for you, and doing these things that are going to create structure for you, a healing structure, are going to help heal that area of your life. And it's the number 40. 40. Like, maybe you are 40. Maybe you're hitting middle age and you're kind of like starting to notice changes, and you're feeling a little bit like you need like a change, like something needs to get more aligned for you. Yeah, because orange calcite, that's all about creativity, the sacral, pleasure, sensuality, sexuality, the birthing of something new. So it's like, once you get these things underway, they're going to heal your sacral. It's going to allow you to be so much more in that creative flow. Like maybe that's what's coming in for you, that's giving you so much more fulfillment and happiness, is just being able to create again, being able to be in that energetic flow, like unlocking your sacral, because maybe it's actually been blocked for a long time. And like even setting boundaries, that could be around like, because often when we have sacral energy issues, we can have addictions, right? That's often something that can happen, is we form addictions because the energy has to be soothed somehow. And when we don't allow ourselves to create and be in that energy of creation, it comes out as addiction sometimes. A lot of people that have addictions need to create, to be creative, to express themselves. So if that's something you're struggling with, don't just take away, if you could be struggling with alcohol, weed, video games, drama, news, like there's lots of different kinds of addiction. But the way to break yourself out of that is to not just take that thing away, it's to replace it with something else. In a sense, you have to become addicted to something else. And that something else is the thing that's good for you. It's like sometimes people become addicted to exercise to curb an addiction to something else. And that can work. But if you're not an exercise person, which I totally get, there's other things. Creative expression, writing poetry, doing art, pottery, needlework, sewing, cooking, board games. There's so many, or like puzzles. Like you could do anything. Or video editing. You could do so much that expresses yourself and puts that energy towards something. Your energy wants to go somewhere. That's the key. So if you allow it to go and to move into these new activities that really align you more truthfully with your soul's calling, those things are going to fall away. Those addictions, those bad habits. It's not, I think that's where a lot of people fail, is they just try to stop the bad habit. And that's really difficult just on its own. Because often it's something that we're trying to self-soothe from something else. And sometimes that self-soothing is that feeling of lack, lacking creative expression. So we can fill ourselves, it's like our belly, because it is in our navel that our sacral is. So it's like filling our belly with the right thing. It's going to make us not seek something else to fill the, it's like, what do they say? Filling a hole. We're not going to fill that hole with the wrong things. If we have the right things already in there, like we got to fill it with the right stuff. Yeah. There. Just picked up my cards here, so I'm going to get one more card actually from crystals. Let's get one more crystal card. Okay. Someone wants to stay out. Big Spite. Oh, courage. Courage and inner drive. This is also very root chakra. So it's like your lower chakras are really calling out to you right now, really seeking attention. I think that's what you're healing right now. And that's why you're heading towards this abundant feeling. Maybe you actually had a lot of like struggle with your root chakra, like a lot of stress that went on there, and that kind of locked those areas down. And that's why things got really blocked for you for some reason. But you're not blocked anymore. You're headed towards creative expression again. Like Ace of Cups is so, it's like you're unlocking your heart and you have all the stuff to express, all the stuff to share with the world. And you're ready to just put that energy towards it. And also to use your intuition to call in ideas, call in new inspirations. And this might even be helpful towards moving you on a path that's going to be like, that's your career. That's something you do as your purpose. I mean, your job doesn't have to be the only thing that you do, right? Like you could do another job, but you could also be doing this on the side just because it fulfills you. And I think that's something that's like you're making peace with, is that I can do this anyway because I'm just going to live a happy life no matter what I'm doing. And ironically, that's going to lead you towards the thing that you love, and maybe even turn that into your career because you're going to put such good energy into it that it can't help but flourish. And both these cards tell me that you're really getting your energy back. You're really getting like drive and impulse to move into that new life, that new energy that you want to carry forward. It's like, I think you've healed your root and your sacral, or maybe even it was your root that was damaged and then it was also affecting your sacral because they're right next to each other. And now that those things are healing, things are going to flow so much more easily. And like the Kundalini energy comes from the root. So like all the chakras are really affected if the root's damaged. So this is huge for you. This is major, major healing. And you should be proud of yourself. That's not an easy journey. It's very hard to heal yourself. Just going to get these a little shuffle. Usually I shuffle beforehand, but I don't think I shuffled this one. There. Yes, what guidance do we need right now? Give us a little bit of angel guidance. I think you're on the right path overall. So I don't think you're going to stray. I think you're actually doing really well. Your guide said you're doing very well. So, Archangel Haniel, notice how the moon affects your energies and manifestations. Capitalize upon these cycles. So it's like you're using moon energy right now. Actually, I really want to put that under your sacral because the moon is tied to your sacral as well, I believe. Yeah. So you might be someone that even like menstruates, and you're learning how to capitalize on your cycle in order to create at the right times. Or you might just be working with the energy of the moon and you find that's really helping you. You might even be staring up at the moon at times. That's helping your energies out. I know there's something to do with moon magic, but I don't know much about moon magic. But that might be something that's involved here as well. That's something you're expert at. You can share in the comments. Peace. Yeah. The most important thing here is that you're gaining peace. Peace comes from remembering that only love is real. That's so true. Yeah. It's like it's like no matter what you do, you feel at ease. Because you're already doing what you love. You're already on that path towards fulfillment. And I think you're also this is a sign you're coming into a time of peace. You're coming into a time where things are going to work out in your favor. And it's not going to be as tough as it was before. It was so tough before. Like you had to be so strong. because things were really challenging for you. Things were not, having your root and your sacral off balance can be so challenging. And life can feel so dull. It can feel so unsafe and unstable. But you're moving away from that now. You're moving into a time where nothing can faze you. And life's going to be so much easier. Easier because you're not fighting against yourself and you're not in this state of fear, in this state of lack, in this state of worry. Everything is going to feel just right for you now because you're expressing yourself creatively and living life passionately. Life's going to feel just so much better for you now, and I'm so happy for you. And you're healing your heart as well, I think. I think this is all about you're allowing yourself to just be happy wherever you are, but that is exactly the energy that's going to lead you right into the perfect path for you, the perfect place for you to feel safe, to be warm, and to creatively express yourself. So I'm so proud of you for getting yourself through all that, going on that journey, and bringing yourself to this point. And your angels are proud of you too. And your guides love you very much. And they're going to carry you forward into a really wonderful time for you. So there's nothing to fear and nothing to worry about. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep expressing yourself, keep having fun, keep feeling pleasure and joy in everyday things. And I know things are going to work out for you for your highest good. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it there because things are getting quiet. So I'd say that's the end of the reading. I really hope this was helpful for you. Thank you for staying to the end. If you feel like it, you can share in the comments how this reading resonated with you, or if you just want to, leave an emoji, whatever. I love those too. So I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care.